Welcome, everyone. This is the Should I Start podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about innovators, creatives, and business owners for global listeners. The show is about the creative process that many artists, business men and women employ when creating their works. You'll hear from musicians, producers, poets, photographers, innovators, business owners, and more. Please subscribe to our season and enjoy. Welcome to the Should I Start podcast, where we talk about business, creativity, innovation of the not even local, the international creatives that I come across in Miami.
Yay. It's an international city.
Yeah, it's an international city with international individuals as well as innovators. And I have the pleasure of meeting one of my friends.
Hey, man. It's my pleasure to have you here.
I have the wonderful JPEG with me, a.k.a. Juan Felipe.
Damn, son. That was good.
That's an intro.
Well, my name is Juan Felipe. I was born in Colombia. People may know me on Instagram as JPEG, Jaypegg, which is a play on words, if you get it.
Okay.
Good for you.
So we can assume that you're a photographer.
I do pictures, yeah. I like to take pictures. I've been swimming in the video world lately, but yeah, my main focus is images right now.
Nice. When did you start?
I started taking pictures like 5 years ago. I was living in New York at the time. I was going to drama school in New York. I wanted to be an actor. And then I just got into the Instagram bug and started taking pictures with my phone and just playing with the little editing apps, not Lightroom, Afterlight, and stuff like that. And I really got into it. And then people, like friends and family, started acknowledging my pictures, like actually sending me direct messages. Hey, that's really nice. I love it, blah, blah, blah. And I was really enjoying just walking around the city and snapping pictures. And then like a year went by of just doing that. And my brother, who lived in Miami at the time, he had a Mark II, 5D Mark II, just laying in his house. And then he came to my graduation in New York, and I was like, bro, can you just leave the camera for like a couple weeks? Because I was going back to Miami anyway. And I never looked back. Yeah, I got addicted to taking pictures. And then because a friend of mine saw a picture, she wanted me to cover an event for her. And then it kind of started from there.
Nice. So when you went to acting school, was it theater? Was it television? What was your strength, or what did you focus on?
I went to a school called the New York Conservatory for the Dramatic Arts, NYCDA. It's in Chelsea. It's a private, small drama school. All the training is theater-based. It's a Meisner school. Meisner is an acting technique. But the training is guided. It's a theater-trained program, but for film and television. So everything that an actor goes through to get prepared for a role, rehearsals, is very theater-based. But then when you apply it, it's for TV and film. So we did a little bit of both.
So that's how you feel like you do photography. And then I'm also, in the realm of videos and filming too, because it's just like, I was in the environment where it's like they taught us this specific thing, but I can use it for other areas, other creative fields.
Totally. And just like with acting, you get to really work with people one-on-one. You're talking to people and creating things. So that really taught me to actually talk with, if I'm shooting a model, just be a person with that model before I actually start shooting, just to make everything comfortable. That really helps me. And acting just taught me how to work with people, work with a team. Because, in acting, there's directors, producers, PAs, actors, light guy. It's a whole team that you need to be working with in order to produce this one thing. And it's the same thing with photographs. It's basically, I jump from in front of the camera to back of the camera. Yeah. Which I kind of like more now.
But don't give up.
Never. Never.
Give up
We'll see. Maybe I'll do something.
Yeah, short films coming soon.
Yeah.
I see it.
If you look me up as Juan Felipe and my last name, Rangel, there's like some soaps that I did here in Miami before I went to New York, which is why I made the decision to go to New York. Because I was getting work here in Miami as an actor doing like the Telemundo soaps and like TV commercials. And then my family is like, you need to like go to New York and try the big leagues and stuff like that. But then this whole photography thing just took over my life, and also I started getting actual work. We kind of really pushed me to pursue it and take it more seriously, make a business, get an LLC, all that kind of stuff.
Now, what were your first photos that you took?
My first
And what camera did you use?
my first photos like ever, or like on this New York period
That you can remember.
Dang. My dad used to take a lot of pictures back in Colombia, like a lot,
So you
all the time.
okay.
He had a point and shoot film, one of those automatic film cameras, but they're film. Like those Pentax that I call the hipster cameras today, people like to use. My dad had one all the time, so
he was
I
the
kind of
first
like
hipster.
used it from time to time and take pictures myself. But I never was like in love with taking images until later in my life. I always go back to that bubble picture. I took a picture at Washington Square Park in New York. That was what I did was basically ride my bike around the city, stop here and there with my bag and my camera, and just walked around neighborhoods and then bike to other neighborhoods and do the same. And then I took one picture one time at Washington Square Park. I'm sure if you've been to New York, you've seen those guys put a bucket on the middle of the park and start doing those huge bubbles. And I grabbed one with the guy and a little blonde girl, and it's just a memorable picture for me. I will never forget it. And every time somebody sees it, it's like, oh my God, that picture. So really, I love it. The only sad thing about the picture is that lesson time, guys. Back up your stuff. After I moved back from New York to Miami, dropped the hard drive, lost every single picture that I ever took in New York, which was my like first 3 years of actual images, like raw files. So that sucks. So I only have like 2 prints.
Did you start shooting in RAW when you first got a camera, or were you shooting in JPEG?
JPEG, bro. You gotta learn every single thing. Of course, I started doing JPEG, and I edited the pictures on iPhoto. Is it called? The standard software.
The basic software for Apple. Did you have an Apple when you first edited your photos? Or
Yeah, I
you have a
did,
PC?
but I didn't know about Lightroom at all. So I did iPhoto and whatever like things I could do over there.
And you're a genius.
And then I did my first like actual. I knew a girl who wanted to be a model, so we teamed up. Anyway, I did my first shoot, and she was the one who told me about Lightroom because her boyfriend at the time was another photographer, and oh, my boyfriend uses Lightroom. I'm like, what is that? Oh, this other Adobe. It's like cool. You should use it. You should give it a try. And that's how I learned about Lightroom. Then I bought it, started practicing and whatnot. I had an idea because I used those apps that I told you, Afterlight and Visco, all that kind of stuff. So you kind of get the hang of it once you get into Lightroom. Of course, Lightroom is a little bit more complex, but it wasn't that new to me, which I loved. But then that's how I began. And then trial and error, like taking pictures, and playing.
So, you said that your father was the first person in your life that took photos.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see his old work?
Well, he didn't take pictures as a profession. He
No,
just
no,
he
for
just
fun.
like he just like taking
But
pictures.
did you ever like, yo, Dad, this is awesome?
Yeah. Well, my dad worked in television in Colombia. He was a production manager.
Whoa. So
So-
you've always been in the creative
Right.
field.
I think that's why I've always been inclined into the arts and entertainment and television because my dad used to work in that field back in Colombia, and he got to a really good place. So I was 6 years old working in sets all the time and meeting actors. So I was really like, oh my God, I want to do that. I love that. And back in Colombia, I did a couple commercials. I was in like a musical theater group. So I was always involved. But yeah, and my dad's world kind of fueled my creativity for sure.
Creative ambition.
Mhm.
Are you now a business?
I am a business.
You are a business. All right. Cool.
It's hard.
Is it
Learning
hard?
every day.
How long have you been in business for?
Actual business for like 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And then how long have you been doing it as a hobby?
For like 5 years.
Okay. So what would you tell your younger self if you wanted to start a business in photography?
It's a tough thing, but I mean, what I will tell myself is that you need to try it first, see how it goes, and then actually make a decision because there's a lot of investment there that you need to do, and just responsibility, basically. But if I, just in any field as an entrepreneur, I guess you have to really know that you want to do that, and then actually follow up and put it on the table.
Nice. Now, I bet that there is one funny moment you've had doing photography.
Mm. There's a few.
There's a few moments. What's one of your most memorable positive moments in photography that you like can, give us? If you can, I'm just saying. Let this
What do you mean
like
funny as
fun,
in?
fun as in like you're happy, like you got the shot, or like that day was like memorable. Because when you shoot with film, you have like 30, like let's say like moments that you can capture throughout the
Right.
day. But the story behind those moments, it's what's really like
Well, that bubble
the heart.
story is a really memorable one for me, and I have like a soft spot in my heart for New York, so it's this like nostalgic thing. But I think funny and fun for me, uh, in this period of shooting in New York, I was really I've been always like inclined to like fashion. I'm not a fashion guy. I don't know. I'm not fashion like I don't know anything about
He has
fashion.
style, people. Don't listen
But
to
I
me.
appreciate I like when I see somebody walking on the street like really nice, really well dressed or flamboyant. I don't know. It really gets my attention. I love it. I love seeing somebody like nicely dressed. I don't know why. So I started a street style blog in New York called Where the Street because I was always shooting people and kind of like I learned how to stop people on the street. Hey, can I take a picture without being, you know, weird or anything, which was a self-taught kind of thing. Some people can't really shoot out on the streets. They're shy. I kind of forced myself to do that. And then I started going to Fashion Week on my own, just standing outside the venues. And that, because of doing that, I've gotten the opportunity to actually work, like for example, here in Miami Fashion Week, Swim Week, because they've seen that work that I've done, that I put myself out there. I actually paid out of my own pocket to fly back to New York and be in New York Fashion Week. I didn't go to any show. I didn't have any tickets, but I stood out. I stood outside every single show, took some nice pictures, met really wonderful people, and I think that's fun. I mean, I've always been. I've never had a teacher in photography, or I never went to school for photography, so I never had the pressure. Kind of like in acting school, they tell you gotta do this, you gotta be like that, you gotta always learn. It's a lot of pressure. With photography, I've always did it on my own, pushing myself hard, and it's kind of worked out so far. So yeah, that was fun shooting Fashion Week. Definitely recommend it.
Definitely. Buy your tickets, invest your money, do it now, and then you can do Fashion Week anywhere
Yeah,
because you can show the
and
work.
then Vogue will fly you to Paris, London, Milan, all that kind of stuff.
Nice. So now you are messing around in the filming area,
Yeah,
like video
video.
filming.
Yeah.
We have to be very clear about it because filming can be like old school hipster cameras.
Gotcha, gotcha,
And
gotcha.
now it's like video.
Moving images.
So, what gave you the inspiration to want to tackle this part of the creative field?
Clients want video, period. And I didn't want to. Some people don't actually jump and try to do video. I, I, when you see something that you're like, I know I can do that. I don't know how to get there. Like that's how video has been for me so far. Like, I feel like I know what I want to convey in a video, but the technicalities of using Premiere and camera settings, that's all the stuff that I've been learning slowly to actually make it a good looking video from what I know. So I just started doing videos on my own. Hey, call a friend, he skateboards, hey, let's do a quick clip so I can practice. And boom, 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 boom. And then somebody sees a video that I put on my Instagram for fun. Oh, I love what you did. Can you do that for me? And that's how it's been working out so far. I'm still learning though, and it's have a long, long way to go. But just I always tell people just jump, take the chance. Kind of like what I did with New York. go to Fashion Week. I mean, do it.
You've always been a daredevil.
I'm a daredevil. No, no. It's more about actually doing it instead of
Talking about it.
yeah.
Yeah. Now you've expressed to me already that ambition, go out there, do it. Now it's like social media has helped you. How do you feel that social media has empowered you, and what platform do you think empowers you the most?
Instagram. Do it. Instagram, bro. It's my portfolio. I'm not even joking. People ask me for my website. I have a website. I'm not really happy with it.
Which is a really good website. It's
Thank you
very
for saying
clean,
that.
very clean, very
Thank you.
efficient.
It has a lot of work to be done because I spend most of my time on Instagram. I get a lot of clients from Instagram, a lot of inquiries. So I really push the IG pretty much 100%. So whenever people ask me, hey, where can I see your work? IG, IG. I really, honestly, never sent anybody to my website. I have it, but IG, bro. IG.
Yeah, that's the future. I'm thinking about changing my website into my YouTube page. I'm just like, this is my website, but it links you to my
Yeah,
YouTube.
I mean, it gives you legitimacy. A website you must have one, but like to be quite honest, I don't really put a lot of attention or I have my things but Instagram is my main, I guess.
Go-to.
Yeah, for sure, for
Main
sure.
go-to. Awesome. And I'm glad it's
At JAYPEGG _.
that's the end.
You know what I love? There's a YouTube channel called Doug DeMuro. It's all about cars.
Yeah.
I am obsessed. They're like 30-minute long videos.
Yeah.
And it's like he writes for Car and Driver, and then he makes these videos on his own. And he's like, I think he's the number one YouTuber on that like realm of cars and
Yeah.
car
That
enthusiasts.
topic.
Yeah, but bro, literally camera on tripod, and he's just talking. It's like no special effects, no cool like video movement. No, literally him talking about a car, and I love it. It's really entertaining the way he like does himself, does all this stuff. Surprisingly, he's my favorite YouTuber, right?
He's your favorite
Yeah.
YouTuber? Nice. He's just raw and uncut.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's a cool way of learning about cars. Doug DeMuro, check him out. I mean, I used to love watching Casey Neistat. I started watching Casey Neistat before I moved back to Miami because I felt like it was a way of me seeing New York like daily. Like this is how New York is looking today because he's a daily vlogger. Then I kind of got tired of it, but I still love Casey. Bro, you're the man.
I got tired of it. You're being honest though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened, bro, but at 368, I hope it works.
Well, isn't there something similar, like a 368 that you collaborate with? It's
Well,
called Gage Cab Studios.
Gage Cab, yeah, my brothers, bro. Gage Cab they've been a blessing. I met Gage Cab through Didi, who owns Tough Lux, a brand that I've been working with, and she took me to their space, and I met Kendrick and all the Gage Cab guys, and they were awesome. And then they offered me a space to work from there, which was a blessing, Come work with us. We'll give you a space. They have studios. They have lights. They have a podcast studio too. And yeah, man, that's all thanks to my camera.
So ever since you had a camera in your hand, it provided you with so many opportunities. Opportunities to meet wonderful people, opportunities to capture wonderful moments.
Yeah.
Now, do you have an incredible support system when it comes to your art?
Yeah, the best. Mom and dad. Couldn't do it without them. Like I have friends and colleagues that support me, but I literally could not be here if especially my dad, like he's all like my number one fan and my best support, and he believes in me 100%. So yeah, thank you, Pop.
Nice. Do you still talk to him? Yeah, like do you have like those teary moments where it's just like, oh man, I remember when you picked up the camera and now look at where I am now. I'm in
Yeah,
Miami,
no,
making it
he's
happen.
proud. I mean, when I was in high school, I was in a band. What do you need, bro? What do you need? Let's make this happen. Like, what do we need to do? when I wanted to be an actor, hey, go be an actor. He's never been, you need to be a lawyer and go to school. Like he would love to for me to have gone to school and do business or something. But you want to be an actor? Go fucking do it, bro. Go to New York. And when the whole photography thing started, he was my first investor. He helped me buy my first camera, my first lens. So I owe him a lot, a lot.
So, out of all the gear that you have used, which one is your most favorite piece of gear when it comes to lenses, camera bodies, drones? Was it like a camera strap?
No,
Was it a cleansing cloth? I got this cleansing cloth from my father,
the
so I polish
the
my lenses.
what do you call
the
air
blowers?
the blower?
I call those the blowers.
The
man.
blowers.
Yeah.
No, really, my favorite piece of gear is my camera.
Yeah.
The one that I have on my hands at the moment will be my favorite piece of gear. Camera is just a tool. It's how you use it and what you do with it.
But what's your go-to tool?
The only one I have. Canon. I have a Canon 5D Mark IV. Canon. I will do or die, baby. A lot of people going to Sony, love Sony, sticking with Canon.
Clearly. I went to Sony, but
Yeah.
you also saw the equipment that I brought in today, though. It's just like if I had a bigger camera, I'm like,
If I had a big ass budget, I probably have a Sony setup. But like I told you, I started taking pictures with the Mark II, and I just got familiar with the system, and I bought Canon glass. So I just kept Canon, and I love colors. The Canon colors for me are the best.
Yeah, they are top notch. I do love them too.
Hopefully they'll step up their video.
Well, they released a mirrorless.
Well, they did. Does it have log? Do you know?
They released their mirrorless. So
Does it have log?
They have a mirrorless now on the market. In this current podcast, they have a mirrorless. Whether it does log, I think most of the Canon series they do log.
Yeah, mine doesn't. I have to send it in, so they have to install it, and it's $100 extra. I don't like that Canon, bro.
You know, you can plug in your camera to your computer and then update the firmware.
You can, but to install the log, the actual log, you need to send in your Canon to a certified Canon place, and then you're not gonna have a camera for like a couple weeks, and it's $100 extra.
Yeah, talk about that customer service.
Come on, Canon, like help a brother out. You guys are releasing stuff every year. Like we need to be upgrading stuff,
and if not, hack it.
But I'm still here. I'm still using Canon. I'm
still
loyal.
A supporter. I made my investment.
Yeah.
But my first camera was a Canon Rebel T3i.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and my father was a photographer, and he had a Minolta film camera. And
I have one. I have a Minolta. So they're old.
Yeah, they're old.
But they're like indestructible. Like they'll be there forever.
Back in the day. No, it was really interesting because he documented his job. So like he went to school, and I come from a Haitian background.
Gotcha.
I'm Haitian Puerto Rican.
Nice.
But I come from a Haitian background. So like be a doctor. And stuff like that. But when it came to photography, not anything else, when it came to photography, he would support me. So my dad's like my biggest investor.
Oh man, we shared that. That's cool.
Yeah, so like, and he's not much of a like he did production or stuff like that, but he was more of he was an agricultural specialist. He wanted to be a doctor, but he couldn't. So he became an agricultural specialist. So he's like, I'm helping the people in Africa.
Right.
And to help and grow crops and stuff like that. But he always used a camera to document.
Right.
His
He appreciates it though.
Yeah. So he documented, and that's when I learned that photography was an opportunity to like document your life. But when it came to business, it's really important to document your work.
Totally.
So now when I apply it to my business, I'm just like, I can't take back the day, but I can apply like everything that I've accumulated, everything that I documented and showcased it. So what you told me is when you're in New York, you document it. And it's just like, this is the stuff that I did back in the day. So I don't want to do something like this. I want to do something even better because I've already done it. So therefore, when you have clients and it comes to pricing, it's like, I really value my time. I already put in the work.
Right.
I can't take back that day to like, oh, let me reinvest it into something else. It's like, it helped you build, even though you lost a lot of work in the beginning.
Listen, I still have the hard drive. Like I don't know what's gonna happen with technology in 20 years. Who
That is
knows?
smart.
Who
Yeah.
knows? I still have it. Like I'm keeping it forever because
Good.
I really feel like maybe at some point, like in 20 years, there's gonna be some kind of technology that's gonna bring that information back, and I'm gonna cry all day when that happens because I'm gonna find those pictures.
It's a couple $1,000s. They do it in Los
I tried that. I
Angeles.
tried.
You tried?
I sent it to a place. They were charging me $3,000 if they recovered the
They
information,
can probably do
and
it.
they like go into this like clean room. But they put on an outfit, and it's a whole thing.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Stranger Things.
And they
No
couldn't.
externals.
They couldn't get it back.
What? They couldn't. Oh, so you made that investment.
Well, I didn't pay. Like if if they recover any information, then you will pay the money. But
Okay.
they couldn't. So yeah.
No, there's has to be a secret.
I
You
mean,
know, like
I've tried a few, but still no luck.
no.
No luck. I have it. If you find out, let me know.
Okay. I remember that my brother lost all of his stuff. My brother was a photographer, so my father was a photographer, and then my brother became a photographer. When I was growing up, I hated photography because I had two nerds. We were just like, oh, we love photography and stuff like that. And I was a graphic designer, so I'm like, oh, if everyone in the family, like, what is it in my family that no one else is doing? So I don't base it on how successful I'm like planning to be. It's just like in the legacy aspect of it. If I have a bunch of family members that are lawyers and doctors, there's not that many people that are photographers. All right, cool. Let me elevate that. There's not that many people that do videography. Oh, let me do one more thing. There's not that many, like, I can't name a family member that has done a podcast. I can't name family members. So it's like when it comes to legacy, it's like this family member did all these extra things, so they're the first in the family to do it.
Nice.
And then see where that takes them. So like that's what's really important to me, not in the legacy of like, oh, I'm like financially wealthy. It's more like out of the family I was able to explore the most because I'm in a generation where I'm able to explore the most.
That's cool, man. That was deep.
But I did not have a support system other than my father.
I'll tell you one thing. There's people that I know that their parents will never support them in anything that they do. So I mean that is something, especially your dad. It's a pretty important thing to have behind you, like rooting for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
Oh,
I'm
man.
still learning, man. You know, it's tough out there sometimes. Sometimes you see people working with clients that you thought you were gonna get, and then they're working with somebody else. Then you have to learn how to deal with that. It's part of the business, you know. There's people that you will love to work with, but they will never work with you. It happens. But then you gotta just believe in yourself, believe that you're doing good, believe that your work is not for everybody, but there's people that are gonna wanna work with you, and just hang in there, bro. Never give up.
Yeah. Do you feel like the community here in Miami is very supportive? Because when it comes to business in photography, I know that there's a few upper echelon of like individuals that are just like, yeah, we're business, and you know, we preach about team, but like we don't want to talk about prices, we don't talk about this. But then you have amateurs that they're starting out and they want to hop in the ring and stuff, and like there's a whole fluctuation of pricing. Clients want video. So first of all, do you think that there's a lot of photographers in Miami?
Yeah, there are. I mean, it depends on what you consider a photographer to begin with. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of competition, but I don't think that's necessarily bad. The more competition, the better you have to work, the better your product has to be in order to stand out. That's how I see it. And then how's your work ethic? Are you always on time? How's your gear? How do you get to set? Do you have an assistant?
He's saying that because I came late.
I'm not pointing you out, bro. Nobody has to know that. You said it.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean. You know, it's
authentic.
that's when the business side, I guess, has to like.
The variables. The variables
right.
is the individual.
You may be a fantastic photographer. Your images and your videos can be, you know, beautiful. Your stories can be the best, but if nobody wants to work with you,
or no one sees it.
Exactly. So there's a lot of factors on actually landing a client. But it's funny because I had clients that inquire work, and when I put a price, they basically just stop talking to me, and then like a week later you see them with the person that you know, and you know that they're charging less, which is good and bad. People hate that, and people think, oh my god, they're taking our work, but it is what it is. Move on. There's gonna be a client for you. I'll promise you that.
Yeah, because you're the second person to say that. When I had one of my first podcasts, it was with DJs that transitioned into artists, and now they are a digital agency. So it's like, for me to really consider you a competition, that means that you're doing something right, and I'm not doing for myself and for my team, for my agency. So I really value you, not like as an enemy, but as an individual that's just like, you are doing some, like your process is really good. I want to learn it. I want to take it. And truth be told is that if you have someone that is better, talented, hardworking, and then the pricing is the issue, when you figure out their pricing, you can just raise your prices and then hire them. So it's a win-win situation,
Right.
because it's like this person's doing business, and like you're
Yeah.
able to get like, because some people, they need like,
Some people need to like. This is how I see it. Whenever people ask me for my prices and ask me why, I make a spreadsheet for them. Like, this is not I get to the set with one camera and just make magic. It's because I have top of the line gear that I use to make your product look the best, and then my work ethic. I pay a lot of money on storage to actually save your files, so a year from now you can call me and, hey, I lost my pictures, can you give them to me? Oh yeah, I have them. That's a lot of money.
That's a mean way to represent your client.
Hi, yeah, remember me? We shot this thing a year ago. Oh yeah, September 2017. Yeah, I have it right here. That's how business works. I mean, there's
Do you
people.
charge them?
Of course,
Good.
of course.
Yeah, I learned to recharge.
You got to charge for everything: mics, stand, lights, everything. Everything is part of the business. And if they want the best, they have to pay for the best.
Yeah.
Some people want, the Victoria's Secret styled shoot for their brand, but they want to pay $100.
Like they want the H&M price.
No, they want the H&M product with the Hialeah on sale price. Work with me here, brother.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not really the creative's fault for them not knowing business, because some of them don't like apply the business aspect
But
of it.
sometimes the creatives don't teach the client or don't actually explain them why.
Yeah.
They just get mad and move on.
Do you think it's like an egotistical thing, like a pride? It's
I
just
don't take
like,
it. Yeah, I don't take it personal when a client doesn't like the price or moves on to another. I really do not take it personal, because if they go to that other person that's charging less for any reason, I know there's something that they're not gonna like, and then they're gonna come back and be like, hi, and I'm gonna be like, it's actually more now. My prices went up.
You do that too? Awesome.
No, man, not in a mean way. Not in a mean way,
No, I
but
don't. I'm just like, sorry. I just,
like, I'm confident enough to charge what I charge because I know what I can bring into the table with like confidence. I know what I can do because I'm not gonna offer anything more or anything less.
Oh,
And it's always for the client. Like, I always tell the client, this is for you. Like, whatever we create, it's for you. So we need to make sure that we have the best tools possible in order to make that happen. Like,
out of everything that we discussed, your go-to editing program for your photos?
Go to Lightroom. I still want to check Capture One. I haven't taken the step.
Capture One is sick.
Yeah.
Capture One, the way that,
especially for tethering, I hear is like the best.
It's
But
so
yeah, right now it's Lightroom for me.
No, Lightroom is incredible. Don't get me wrong. Capture One handles image processing a lot better from what I heard when it comes to like color and like really adjusting. Because I met another photographer at a workshop, and that's what they used. And it was interesting because the workshop that I went to was Joey Wright's workshop.
Love Joey Wright.
He's an incredible person.
Funny guy on Instagram.
Yeah.
I follow him, yeah.
But his business acumen is amazing. So like he's like, I'm gonna teach you something in Lightroom, but who here uses Capture One? And then one person would be like, oh, I know Capture One, or I use it, and I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna explain to this in Lightroom, and then I'm also gonna explain to this in Capture One, and it's really incredible. So now, being around him and being around those individuals, it's just like I learned to diversify. So when I started off with Canon, with a Rebel, and then I transitioned into using a Sony, now it's like I understand both cameras. Mm-hmm. And now it's like I understand Nikon. Now it comes to the point of photography and video. It's just like I know Photoshop, I know Lightroom, I explore with VSCO, VSCO cam, and then editing the iPhones when you understand those theories. Now video is like Premiere and Final Cut, even though I totally don't have a preference. You're good. Yeah. All right, later.
My roommate.
Cool. So one of the things is transitioning.
That should be your next podcast, Joey Wright. That would be amazing.
I would like to do Joey Wright, but in order for me to do that is like I want to do a podcast with Gary Vee or Casey Neistat.
Oh yeah.
It's like you have to work on, like I don't have those connections. It's like I rather build. I rather build with.
I'm sure if you ask him, he'll make time for you.
Yeah, no,
but like he lives in the area, right?
I think he's up north.
Yeah. Like Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, I think
it's close. Closer than New York.
But like, I've come across points in life where you talk, and then you walk. So you're the type of person that's like, I'm about action, as not as much words. Even though this is a podcast. You're just like, I rather see what you've already done and how you're doing it and the way that you're going about it, and then how does it reflect me, how does it highlight me, how does it benefit the listeners, because at the end of the day there's a younger you out there that needs this advice or loves this advice, and that's what I care about. And that's why I titled the podcast Should I Start Podcast. And it was funny because I'm just like, I'm a researcher. The creativity to me is art and science. So like I am documenting and analyzing the situation, and I'm very hard on myself. But it was like, oh, should I start a podcast? And I'm like, I'm trying to start a podcast. And then I was with my brother, and he was just like, dude, research, like 2018, look at Tim Ferriss, look at all these other like individuals. And then you know what? It triggered something in my head when he said that. And you know what? Should I start? Because I'm trying to figure out how I go about making a podcast, but we always question, should we start something?
It's not about, it's not about looking at the ceiling and questioning things. It's like, okay, I have 2 hours. What do we need to do to make this happen,
And should I start podcast?
And then once you do it, you see what you didn't like, what you liked, if you want to keep doing it, if you don't want to keep doing it. That's the same thing with photography. Should I start taking pictures? Well, grab your phone and take a walk, see what you can do. Like, if you really want it, there shouldn't be excuses.
Or maybe they just don't know how to use Google.
That's an excuse.
Yes, it is.
You don't know how to use Google in 2018? My mom is really technologically
savvy?
No.
No? Okay.
But she adapts. She adapts.
She adapts. What do you think some of the greatest lessons you've learned about yourself through this passion?
The greatest lessons. Well, first, believe in you. Believe that whatever you're doing, it's good. Even if somebody else calls you out and says otherwise, believe that your idea, it's good because it's yours. It's nobody else's. And try not to get discouraged when somebody else gets work and you don't. When somebody else gets 10 more likes than you did. That doesn't matter. You gotta persist, believe in yourself, and actually go out and do whatever you want to do. If you want to be a painter, paint every day. If you want to shoot pictures, shoot every day. If you want to be a dancer, you gotta dance every day, bro. I'm sorry. There's no easy way out. There's no shortcut. I sound like Gary Vee right now, but you gotta do it, bro. It's plain and simple. If you mess up with a client, don't dwell on it. Move on. There will be more. There's all these people complaining. Oh, there's so many photographers out there, not enough clients. That's a lie. That's a big, big lie. There's plenty of fish out there for everybody, I think. Especially here in Miami. People complain about living in Miami. There's no work, blah, blah, blah. I just keep seeing buildings being built every day. There's definitely work. There's definitely work out there, guys. You just gotta show them what you can do, and the right client will land. Right? That would be amazing.
I would like to do Joyride, but in order for me to do that is like, I want to do a podcast with Gary Vee or Casey Neistat.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you have to work on, like, I don't have those connections. It's like I'd rather build. I'd rather build with
I'm sure if you ask him, he'll make time for you.
Yeah, no,
He
but like
he lives in the area,
I
right?
think he's up north.
Yeah,
I
like
think
Fort
he's up north.
Lauderdale.
Yeah, I think
It's close.
It
Closer
is,
than New York.
But like, I've come across points in life where you talk, and then you walk. So you're the type of person that's like, I'm about action, as not as much words.
Mm-hmm.
Even though this is a podcast, you're just like, I rather see what you've already done and how you're doing it and the way that you're going about it, and then how does it reflect me, how does it highlight me, how does it benefit the listeners, because at the end of the day there's a younger you out there that needs this advice or loves this advice, and that's what I care about. And that's why I titled the podcast Should I Start Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because I'm just like, I'm a researcher. The creativity to me is art and science.
Yep.
So like, I am documenting and analyzing the situation, and I'm very hard on myself. But it was like, oh, should I start a podcast? And I'm like, I'm trying to start a podcast. And then I was with my brother, and he was just like, dude, research, like 2018, look at Tim Ferriss, look at all these other like individuals. And then, you know what? It triggered something in my head when he said that. And you know what? Should I start? Because I'm trying to figure out how I go about making a podcast, but we always question, should we start something?
It's not about it's not about looking at the ceiling and questioning things. It's like, okay, I have 2 hours. What do we need to do to make this happen? You know?
And should I start podcasts?
And then once you do it, you see what you didn't like, what you liked. If you want to keep doing it, if you don't want to keep doing it. That's the same thing with photography. Should I start taking pictures? Well, grab your phone and take a walk. See what you can do. Like, if you really want it, there shouldn't be excuses.
Or maybe they just don't know how to use Google.
That's an excuse.
Yes, it is.
You don't know how to use Google in 2018? My mom is really technologically
savvy?
No.
No? Okay.
But she adapts. She adapts.
She adapts. What do you think some of the greatest lessons you've learned about yourself through this passion?
The greatest lessons. Well, first, believe in you. Believe that whatever you're doing, it's good. Even if somebody else calls you out and says otherwise, believe that your idea, it's good because it's yours. It's nobody else's. And try not to get discouraged when somebody else gets work and you don't. When somebody else gets 10 more likes than you did. That doesn't matter. You gotta persist, believe in yourself, and actually go out and do whatever you want to do. If you want to be a painter, paint every day. If you want to shoot pictures, shoot every day. If you want to be a dancer, you gotta dance every day, bro. I'm sorry. There's no easy way out. There's no shortcut. I sound like Gary Vee right now, but you gotta do it, bro. It's plain and simple. If you mess up with a client, don't dwell on it. Move on. There will be more. There's all these people complaining. Oh, there's so many photographers out there, not enough clients. That's a lie. That's a big, big lie. There's plenty of fish out there for everybody, I think. Especially here in Miami. People complain about living in Miami. There's no work, blah, blah, blah. I just keep seeing buildings being built every day. There's definitely work. There's definitely work out there, guys. You just gotta show them what you can do, and the right client will land.
What was your favorite place to travel?
So far, I really loved Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was so surprisingly amazing. People, beaches. I just loved it, and I just went to Mexico City for the first time too. I was shooting my friend Nacho's. He had a bunch of press for his solo career, and he like flew me and DC Seba. Shout out to DC Seba. Follow him. He's badass. And we just did content for him for like a week. And that city is amazing, amazing. A lot of culture and history, Spanish history, which I love, and just like artistically, the city is just filled with music, art. Like, I loved it. Yeah.
Oh, man. I gotta go travel.
Yeah, man. Traveling is good for the soul.
What is the message you want to let others know about your creativeness?
I mean, did I do it with love, really? I mean, I didn't try to rush anything and kind of half-ass, especially anything work related. I really I love the fact that I can shoot images and make a little bit of a living out of it. So I respect that, you know. I think it's a privilege that I get to do it. A lot of people try, some fail. I'm kind of like on my way to. I've been just recently started actually experiencing quote unquote success, meaning I get good gigs from what I do. But I think that's a privilege, and I want to be responsible with it because yeah, it's great, but then you got to prove why you're getting the gigs that you're getting. You know, you got to show them what you got. So I guess from my work, I want people to see the love that I have for the craft, really.
And how much you love to take care of your clients.
As much as I can do. My clients help me live, so
pay the man his rates and stop going for cheaper services.
like I said it before, I don't mind that you go to these other people. Everybody, like, it's up to you. That's all I have to say.
So I'm going to leave you with the final question of the podcast.
The final question.
Is the final question.
Question.
We're going to start a duet.
Yep.
If there was someone that wanted to make their hobby into a business, should they start? Yes or no, and tell us why.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to, go for it. But the things you have to keep in mind about making any hobby a business is that it is a business. It's a serious thing. So I know a lot of people, for example, that like Joey Wright, he takes pictures of beautiful women, and I'm guessing that in order to achieve this work, there has to be a certain level of respect and professionalism between the model and the photographer. I know a lot of photographers that want to shoot girls for the wrong reasons, which that's why I think their business will fail. I don't know Joey personally, but I feel like his work speaks in that way that he's professional enough that he can work with the greatest models of today and be respected, you know, because he takes his business seriously. Yeah. So I guess my point is take it seriously, bro. It's a business. It's gonna be your life. This is not a Monday to Friday thing anymore. It's a 24/7 thing. So if you're ready for that and if you're up for the challenge, bro, come on down. Jump on the bus. We got you here.
All right. And that's it. And you've been an incredible guest.
You are an incredible host.
Hey.
Can't wait to do this again.
Yeah, it's going to lead up to the second one. But for now, if you can do us the honors, and please give us all the social media links and ways to reach you, reach your brand, to find out more about you, to see your work.
Awesome. Uh, like I said before, Instagram is my main source of not only communication, but you can see my work on the IG. It's at JAYPEGG_JPEG, and you can check my website out too. It's j-peg.com, and I'm gonna leave it at that. No phone numbers today. I don't want no spam on my phone. Hey, thank you so much for having me, bro. For real.
No
It's
problem.
it's
been a while.
it's been a while, but we've known each other for a second too now, so this is fun.
Wait until it's a minute and an hour. So I hope you guys love this video and the videos that I have been producing.
Let's go.
I love the people, I love the guests. If there's any feedback that you would like to give me, please let me know in the comments below.
Yes.
If you can please subscribe. If there's any way that I can improve on it, let me know. I would be glad to hear it. And I also want to know what's on your mind. This is an ongoing conversation.
Let's go.
I want to, understand you guys more. I want to provide more value, more content for you.
Yeah.
So if there's anything that I can do, just please let me know. I'll gladly help out to the best of my abilities to provide you this content.
You're crushing it, bro. Let's go.